If you've ever driven long stretches of highway in the dead of night, then you know there's a darkness out there that no headlights can pierce. Truckers see things the rest of us never will, or maybe don't want to. In tonight's stories, we're diving into the terrifying experiences of drivers who rolled straight into something unexplainable. So before we hit the road, make sure you like, subscribe, and tap in with Whispers Between Worlds. We upload daily. Buckle up, this ride gets bumpy. Story 1. The Man on Mile Marker 237. I used to run night shifts on I-70 out west, mostly hauling freight through Utah and Colorado. Long stretches of nothing but darkness and road, broken up by gas stations and static-filled AM radio. One stretch I dreaded was near mile marker 237, just past an old abandoned rest stop that had been closed since the 90s. I'd seen it during the day graffiti, shattered windows, rusted vending machines. But at night, it was just a silhouette in the moonlight. I was about 5 hours into a run when I passed that marker again. Same routine black coffee in the cup holder, the low hum of the tires on asphalt, headlights cutting through the empty dark. Then I saw him. A man was standing just off the shoulder, pale dot thin, wearing what looked like a state trooper's uniform from decades ago. I tapped the brakes, thinking maybe someone had broken down or worse. But as I slowed to a crawl and leaned to get a better look, he was gone. Not walked off, not hidden, just gone. I figured it was fatigue. I hadn't slept well the night before, and hallucinations aren't uncommon when your body's screaming for rest. I shook it off, kept driving. That's when my CB crackled. No one's supposed to be on my channel. I keep it set to a private frequency, just in case. But a voice came through, clear as day. You passed him again, didn't you? I froze. The voice was low, like it had static wrapped around it. I didn't respond. The voice came again. Turn around, you're not done. I grabbed the CB mic, heart pounding, and snapped, Who is this? No answer, just dead air. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe someone was messing with me. A prank. But I hadn't shared my frequency with anyone, and I always scrambled it. Then I noticed the mile markers. 237, again. I had just passed that marker 20 minutes ago. I should have been 15 miles further down the road, minimum. I checked my GPS, it froze. The map was blank, just a gray grid with a single blue dot. The road started to change. The pavement was cracked, the yellow lines faded. The trees lining the highway looked wrong, twisted, leaning too far inward like they were watching. And then there he was again. The same man, same uniform, same empty stare, only this time he stepped onto the road. I swerved and hit the shoulder hard. Dust and gravel kicked up, the trailer rocking behind me. I slammed the brakes, heart hammering. But when I looked back up, he wasn't there. No body, no blood. Just the echo of my breathing in the silence. I didn't wait. I floored it, not caring about speed limits or logbook violations. I just needed to get away from that marker. Eventually, I hit a gas station. GPS came back online. My watch showed it was almost an hour later than I thought. I asked the guy at the counter if he'd ever seen anything weird on the road near mile 237. He didn't answer right away. Then he just said, "You're not the first trucker to come in here shaking, asking about that stretch. They say a trooper died there back in '91, hit by a semi during a traffic stop, but they never found the driver. I never took that route again, switched to local deliveries. Even now, I sometimes wake up to static in the middle of the night and swear I hear someone whispering, 'Turn around, you're not done.' If that one didn't make you check your rear-view mirror, this next one might have you pulling over for the night. Let's keep it moving." Story 2. The Crying Woman at Exit 54. Back when I was running overnight shift from Texas to Georgia, I'd always pass this one clover leaf near Exit 54 on I-20. Most drivers knew to avoid that exit unless you needed gas bad. There was something off about it. Too quiet, like the wind died when you pulled off. I never stopped until one night I had no choice. My fuel gauge was bleeding red, and the nearest truck stop was miles away. So I rolled into this old, flickering gas station just off the ramp. Place looked like it hadn't been updated since the '70s. Neon barely working. Nobody at the pumps. No other cars in sight. I got out, scanned the area, and saw her. A woman maybe mid-30s, barefoot, standing just outside the glow of the gas station's lights. Her hair was soaked, her dress clinging to her. It wasn't raining, not even cloudy. She was crying, not hysterical, but this soft, choking sob, like she was trying to be quiet about it. I asked if she was okay. No answer. Then she looked up at me, and it felt like ice slid down my spine. Her eyes were swollen, black circles beneath them like she hadn't slept in weeks. Her lips were cracked, but what stuck with me most was how empty she looked, like whatever had been inside her was gone. She pointed down the road behind the station. I followed her hand. There was nothing. Just a pitch-black path that led into the woods. Then she said, barely above a whisper, "They're still out there?" Before I could ask who, a loud bang came from the woods. Like a gunshot, I ducked behind the truck, adrenaline pumping. The woman? She didn't flinch. She just stood there, still pointing, still weeping. When I peeked back out, she was gone. No footsteps, no running. Just gone. I was about ready to leave the damn rig behind when I saw the gas station door creak open. The clerk inside, an old man with one cloudy eye, waved me in. He looked dead serious. "You saw her, didn't you?" I nodded, shaking. He said she shows up about once a year. Always when a storm's coming. Always when someone's about to go missing. He told me the story. Back in the late '80s, that woman was a passenger in a truck that vanished off Exit 54 during a storm. Her body was found weeks later, deep in the woods, hands tied, eyes missing. Her driver? Never found. Neither were the 3 people believed to have picked her up before she died. Locals believe she haunts the area, trying to warn others before it happens again. He said if she points at you and you follow, you'll vanish too. I looked outside, nothing. But my fuel tank was suddenly full. I hadn't even touched the pump. I took off. No receipt. No charge. No sign of the woman or the gas station ever again. And when I passed Exit 54 a week later on my return trip, there was nothing but trees. No sign the station ever existed. and just when you thought it couldn't get any worse. This last story will make you think twice before hitting the highway again. Let's get into it. Story 3, Midnight Load, from the 3 Creepy True Truck Driver Horror Stories series. I've driven trucks for 17 years, mostly solo routes across the Midwest, but nothing in all that time ever shook me like what happened near the Kentucky-Tennessee border one summer night. My dispatcher had booked me a late run, just 1 trailer of produce to drop in Nashville. Easy miles, straight through Dot. It was past midnight, and the roads were dead quiet. The kind of quiet where even the hum of the tires sounds too loud. I was cruising down I-65 south when my CB crackled to life. "Breaker, breaker, any ears on?" The voice sounded old, raspy, almost like a whisper filtered through static. I leaned over and clicked the mic. "Go ahead." Long pause. "You passed me just now. You see what I saw?" I scanned my mirrors. Nobody behind me, not for miles. I hadn't passed another truck in over 40 minutes. Who is this? Nothing. Then my headlights caught something up ahead, someone walking in the emergency lane. A woman, alone, wearing an all-white dress, long and dragging. I flicked my high beams to get a better look, and I swear she wasn't walking, she was gliding. I slowed, heart-thumping. Dot rolled down my window and called out, "Ma'am, you all right?" She didn't respond, just kept moving. I swear I felt the temperature drop inside the cab, like the AC kicked on full blast. That's when the lights on my dashboard flickered. The radio cut out. My engine stuttered. The woman suddenly turned her head, and I caught her face for a second in the side mirror. No eyes, just hollow sockets. Her mouth moved like she was screaming, but there was no sound. I hit the gas and blew past her. Tires squealing. The truck lurched and roared back to life. Every hair on my body stood up straight. A mile down the road I saw it again, her. Standing in the middle of the road this time. Same white dress, same eyeless face. I swerved hard, barely missing her, and pulled over into a small truck stop that I knew was open 24/7. I rushed inside, panting, sweating. The cashier, an older guy with gray stubble, looked at me and nodded slowly. "Let me guess, woman in white." I froze. "She shows up every year around this time," he said. "Used to be a hitchhiker. Got hit by a semi right on that curve near mile marker 78. Driver said she came out of nowhere." "What happened to the driver?" I asked. "Didn't stop. Truck flipped trying to miss her. Burned up inside the cab. I sat in that truck stop for 3 hours until the sun was well above the trees. I took a different route to Nashville. Haven't driven that stretch of road since, and I keep my CB radio off at night now, because sometimes silence is better than what's on the other end. If you made it this far, you're braver than most. But don't get too comfortable. There's always another road, another shadow, another story waiting. Like, subscribe, and join us here at Whispers Between Worlds, where we upload new horrors daily. Sleep tight, if you can.